everybody. Welcome to the very first episode of Coffee with Crymson, now on the Bodhana group, the Bodhana channel. I'm very excited to be here. I literally just ran in the door and got everything set up, and here we are. You must sacrifice everything for the Eternals. For those of you who do not know who I am Crymson Pleasure. I am the streaming person here at Bodhana. I do important stuff like wrangle squirrels. I am the founder of Real Moon Gaming, and I also stream on my own channel. And we are doing Coffee with Crymson, which is my mental health talk show. And we're going to talk about different people about different stuff, and it's going to happen. That's the gist of it. And I have with me today my wonderful, very close friend, Cassie. Hi, Cassie.
Hello, hello.
And we are going to talk about self-care and stuff like that. We're going to have a conversation about stuff like that. This is my first cup of coffee, so everybody excuse the fact that
you've made it so far into the day.
I did. I really
How many
did.
people died before this?
Well, that movie tavern's gonna need to rebuild, but you know, it's fine. So wait, I'm gonna do this thing where I show mugs. So my mug this time is Not Every Witch Lives in Salem.
Oh, it's cute.
And I love it. And then it's got the pentagram.
Ah.
It's a giant.
Adorable.
What mug are you sporting?
This one is also a gigantic mug. It's one from Starbucks that you could write on the side of it with like a paint marker from like many, many moons ago. And I just have a lot of quotes about being creative, and this is like the inspo mug, basically.
We're gonna be productive today. We need to get some shit done mug.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you did something awesome last night. You DM'd a charity game on your channel, on the Lovelycraftians. Mm-hmm. Actually, who are the Lovelycraftians, and what is it that you do?
Yeah, so the Lovelycraftians is a Call of Cthulhu actual play podcast with an all-femme, female-identifying cast. You can find us on any of your favorite podcatchers, and we've got a good, very solid, like 4 seasons worth of content if you just need to binge something hard.
Yeah.
I'm the game mistress. I'm also the writer, producer, the editor. I do all of like the background businessy kind of things on that end too. So I'm a busy lady, but in a good way.
Yes.
It's a good kind of busy.
We talk.
And last night we were. And it never changes. If anything, it just gets worse, but we both seem really happy about it. So yes. We keep signing up for stuff. And last night we did a charity event for Zero Cancer, which is an organization that helps the fight against prostate cancer. And you would think like, oh, that's not really something that you have to worry about, but it does affect like 1 in 8 people who are assigned male at birth. So that's more than just our cisgendered male friends that are being affected, and any effort that we can do to help minimize that and to support the people who are going through it is a-okay in our book.
Cancer is cancer, and it's terrible.
Yes,
it is a terrible, terrible thing. And your goal was 250, and you raised 250 or 240 or as close as possible.
Yeah, I haven't checked it this morning. I probably ought to. But when we ended the stream last night, we were at 240, so we were very close. So for having only been live for like 3 hours, I think 3.5 hours, that's pretty damn good. I was really, really pleased. All the people who donated are just rock stars. So
yes, everybody is amazing. I'm taking off my boots. That's why I look weird.
Get comfy.
and that's not your first charity thing you've done. You've done several charity things.
No, we do a lot of different charities throughout the year, whether that's like us coming in and just playing as part of a charity gig or hosting it. This is our second one that we've hosted this year. So I think that's probably once a quarter we do something charity related.
That's awesome.
In some capacity.
That is amazing. But so to put the point of how busy we are, I think it was like earlier this week. I was like, "Hey, what are you doing on Saturday?" You're like recovering, and I'm like, "All right, so do you want to be on a mental health talk show?"
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like, so I'm an introvert by nature, and I've had things to do like socially outside of my job and outside of the podcast and outside of getting the charity stuff going anyway. So I was doing a lot, and I
Mm-hmm.
knew that Saturday would hit. As soon as that charity event was done, I'd be like, okay, mental bra off. We're done here.
Yeah,
We're checking out until Monday again. But this is actually probably the perfect time to talk self-care because I'm in the middle of doing it right now.
yeah, yeah. I am. This is the beginning of my long weekend, so on Monday I will be doing self care. But beforehand, self care prep is also something that you should do. Take a night off and relax. I have 2 streams to do tomorrow because I'm raising money for
Oof,
for St. Jude, and I'll be cooking 3 meals tomorrow at 12 on my channel, and then we have Malhaven tomorrow night. So
busy, busy.
yeah, but I like to stay busy because then I can't think. But that's another episode.
Yeah, that's a different issue entirely.
I am an extrovert by nature, but I also need self care, especially when it's
Yeah.
and one thing that cracks me up is everyone's like, "Oh, you like recharge from people," and I'm like, "Yeah, to an extent." But then I'm like, okay, like when we do events and stuff, I'm like, nobody talk to me. We used to do public events, and I'd be in a comic book shop for 12 hours, asking people who came in to get comics if they wanted to donate money to charity. So the next day, I'd be like, nobody talk to me.
Yeah, I'm dead. Like that social battery runs out at some point. So I think for extroverts, it's just like a longer lead time on what that's looking like. So I'm working off of like one of those quarter-sized cell batteries as far as what I can do socially, and then you're working off of like a D-sized battery.
That is pretty apt. Though the pandemic has made mine a lot smaller than it used to be.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. The pandemic is its own. That's its own thing.
It's like, what do
A
you mean
little
I have this?
monster.
Like I miss people, and then I go somewhere and I'm like, never mind, I was wrong.
I don't.
I don't miss people.
Not as much as I thought.
Put me back in front of my computer. That's where I miss people.
Yeah. You got to get out of my face now.
Yeah, exactly. So what is like? And being an introvert's different for everybody. So what is it when it comes to you? What is being an introvert for you?
So for me, it means that I can go out and do stuff with people. That's fine. Um, I'm just going to hit a limit where I don't want to do that anymore. And I don't really have control over when that's going to happen. It's kind of like a switch that just flips and it's like, I'm here, it's fun, I'm having a great time, and then I hit the end of uh my stamina in order to keep going and doing the thing, and then I'm like, okay, I could Irish goodbye this right now and just call it. Um and it also means that as far as my recharge goes, it is a pretty solo endeavor.
Yeah.
Um, and that's not to say that like I need quiet all of the time. It just means like I just need people to be away from me for a little bit and just like let me be on my own.
Yeah.
And I get that recharge from that alone time. Whereas I've had friends, especially during the pandemic, who were very extroverted, who were like, I'm going out of my fucking mind. If I don't leave my house, I'm gonna lose it. It's like, no, this is like, I'm thriving right now. I love this. If the contact I have is with the Instacart delivery person, dope. That's fine with me.
Oh, a tip for when it comes to Instacart and stuff like that. We were doing Instacart and it was very expensive, and then husband found that we do Giant and Wegmans. They have Giant Direct where you order everything, like they shop for you, and then you park in a spot and they deliver it to your car, and it costs $3
Nice.
extra. And I was like,
It's way cheaper than Instacart.
it's so much cheaper than Instacart. And it's done at a more reasonable time than Instacart. I don't know about your Instacart, but sometimes it's like, we'll be there by 3. Never mind, we'll be there by 8. Well, I guess we're ordering dinner now.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Thank you, Thea. Thank you, Riley. Love you. wonderful
Hey,
beings.
y'all.
Do you also experience the like? I get this to a degree. The people in your life that you can just like hang out with that don't like drain you.
Definitely. Like, there's a short list. Like this, not draining me at all. If I were doing something with the Lovelies, tomorrow sort of pushes it. I got asked to jump in a game kind of at the last minute, and I considered saying no pretty strongly because I find a very strong difference between just hanging out with someone and then having to perform. And it's that performance that really exhausts me. But
Yeah,
it's with people that I love playing with for a project that I really enjoy. So it's like, it's not going to cost me too much, I don't think.
yeah.
Like, it's pushing it, and I know it's pushing it, but if it were anyone else, I would just say no.
Yeah.
But
I
for the most
100%
part,
get
it's
that.
like, yeah, it's like you're putting on your face in order to come and be in front of a camera. And even if this is like an authentic version of yourself, you're still having to put it out there and put effort into watching what you're saying and making sure that what you're saying isn't just a random babble, which mine frequently are. Like, it just takes extra effort to see who it is that you're presenting to people.
Yeah. Um, and I do that with streaming. When I stream anything, this I don't. This is because this is supposed to be chill, but everything else I do is very like hyper in some way, shape, or form. So I chug a bunch of like rogue energy, and then like I'm like, all right, we're not depressed anymore. We're gonna put that over here, and we're
Yeah.
going to love killing things for the next like 4 hours. Everything's gonna be great. Um, and the people make it sometimes for me. Like when we're playing Phasmo, it's again, it's like a hangout. Like I really don't have to do anything. Like we're just having a fun time. But there are some times and some days where it's just like I can do this. I am a professional.
I have to do this. This
I,
is my job.
this is
I'm
literally
here
what I
right
do.
now.
But no, I get the no like not draining your battery thing because for me it's silence. If I can be silent with somebody, that's the same thing. That is my,
Yeah.
you are not like I don't have to have a conversation with you. I can just exist and everybody's very happy.
Yeah. Well, and I think people don't value that silence enough. And a lot of it is awkward silence that they feel the need to make sound during, but you don't have to. And with the right people, you can just sit there quietly. It's not dead air. It's just, oh,
Mm-hmm.
we're either thinking or we're doing something, and it's not a pressure thing
Yeah.
for you to say stuff so that you're not just sitting there alone with the thoughts, with the void like poking at your
Oh
face.
god,
Like,
yeah. Like no, the second thoughts pop in. That's like so. I totally call this out on stream. When I do it, but I'll do like if I'll start doing like the Mario theme song. Like I'll make some noise when my thoughts are just like, hey, do you remember? Nope, nope. Do do do. Like,
yeah.
everything's out of our mind. Like it's Mario and Mario only. This is how this works now. But yeah, like I I hang out in my Discord, and I'm just kind of like I'll be in. I think I've been like there have been like 4 of us. It's probably like me, like Vonnery, Thea, and Riley, and we're just sitting there not saying anything. And people
Yeah.
come in and they're very confused because I'm a very talkative person. We all are, but it's like no, this is our space where we're just gonna watch K-pop or we're gonna watch a movie or we're gonna individually stare at whatever we're doing, but it's comfortable because we're all doing it together.
Yeah. Quiet community.
Yes,
There's a lot to be said for that.
I love it. I love that, which is funny because I love talking, but I also love like being in that comfy quiet of just like this is nice. No, no,
Yeah.
no pressure, no putting anything on or anything like that. It's wonderful. I don't have to talk to you either, which is nice. We could just sit there.
Yeah. We could just sit here and drink our coffee for the rest of the hour.
Just like we'll just sit here and drink coffee, and you'll feed off of that. Uh, so, what is your introvert self care for after an event like that?
Boy, that's a great question. If it's not too late, I try to lobster myself in the bath for a while and just try to unwind because there is still some residual energy. Even if I'm exhausted at the end of it, it's still like my brain is still turning. It's kind of going over what all went down. And if I have things that I want to do differently next time, it's usually popping up right then.
Yep.
So I try not to put too much thought into it at the time because I'm like, yeah, you're just tired. Maybe write this down, but on the whole, just sit in your bathtub and watch TikTok for a while and try to have that like mental mudroom space between I'm doing things and I need to go to sleep. So that's usually where it starts. And then I tried to sleep in as much as I could, and then my neighbors are babysitting their kids, so they were like, "Yeah, about that. No, that has a limit, and it's going to be loud. Here you go." And then it's really just like part of it is relaxing, and part of it is really maintaining whatever it is that I need to do. So this morning I was watching The Hobbit, and I'm probably going to continue that Middle Earth marathon for the rest of the weekend off and on. But after this, I'm going to take myself to the gym and I'm going to take a shower and do that sort of like physical maintenance stuff.
Yeah.
And just put a little extra thought into doing it and keeping everything going. And then again, it'll fall right back into wherever I was with The Hobbit and carry on from there. But
that's a really interesting point because I say this whenever I go through a depressive episode. Like, the last thing I want to do is shower. So that kind of like points out how much self-care, even just like trying to get the energy up to like clean yourself is, because I always feel better after a shower. I need to manifest. I need to take the pieces of spoons that I have and put them together so I could get into the shower and, and get it done. But yeah, it feels so good. Taking a bath.
Yeah, once you get there, it's fine.
Yeah, like
getting there.
I'm in the shower. Okay. And then maybe you'll just stand there for about like 5-10 minutes just under the water, just the existential dread. And then you get washed. You just go about your day.
And hopefully some of that washes down the drain so you don't have to worry about it as much. But just washing off the stink is a huge win, honestly.
Yes. There's so many, even if you can't do that, I tell people all the time, baby wipes, man, are a miracle. Just baby wipe it. Like, if you can't do it, just baby wipe the armpits and the important areas. Get your face, because that's where all your oil is.
Yeah, do the important stuff, and that's like, and don't be sad if that's all that you can muster, because honestly, that's still a win. Yes. And when I'm in my depressive episodes, I found that I have to celebrate those little things, because otherwise I'm like, because I'm high functioning anyway, I'm doing the things I feel like I have to do because I have to do them. But if there's no connection to like, yeah, this was good. You got up, you ate something, when all you want to do is lay on the couch and kind of die for a while. But you defied that. Hey, we're going to celebrate. It seems stupid, but it helps. Like,
yes,
hype yourself up.
You celebrate that stuff even when you're not depressed. I took a shower.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. I'll post
shit.
I'll post that in some of our group chats. And I'm like, I showered, and everybody's like, yay!
Hooray!
Sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need like, I ate food that didn't come in a plastic wrapper. Awesome.
Hell yeah. I ate a vegetable. Yes.
It was a potato and it was fried, but I ate it.
It counts.
It counts. But yeah, it's when you're depleted, and I say it all, like, everybody says it too. Like, you can't pour from an empty cup, but we do it anyway. We start ripping off parts of the cup and just throwing it into other people's cups. Like, here, I've got nothing left, but I want to keep helping. So self-care is super important. I think my favorite bit of self-care is music. For me, 100%. I love just like, so and some people will laugh at this. So my current happy song, and my happy songs shift all the time. My current happy song is Cheese by Stray Kids. So it's a K-pop song. It is the dumbest song. It's a song literally about cheese. Like, it's not.
Love that.
Yeah.
I love cheese, so there we go.
It's a funny poppy song. So like if I'm like starting to feel like down, or like I want to like pep myself up a little bit, just like I throw on like something happy like that, and then I just let it go through like my happy playlist, and I'm like, all right, that's good. That's the start to getting my energy back. But I also try not to plan anything either.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big one. And I think we both probably struggle from that. And I don't know if it's fear of missing out because I'm not afraid to miss out on stuff, but it's more of like this person took the time to reach out and ask if I wanted to do something with them. And yes, I absolutely do, even if I'm like, I'm teetering on the edge of burnout. So it's like kind of figuring out where the line is for do I say no and like save myself this, or can I sacrifice a little bit more of my energy but make it up somewhere else?
Yeah.
So it's sort of a balancing act, and I can't say that I've got it perfectly down. I've gotten better about it as I get older, but for sure there are times where I'm like, I shouldn't do this, and I'm doing it anyway, and I'm gonna suffer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to disappear for 2 days, and people are just not gonna have to talk to me.
Yeah. It's I think with both of us, it's also like the chance to help,
Mm-hmm.
because we both like we're like you like my husband and Vonry tackle, and Thea and Riley would do the same thing too. If they were here in person, but anybody ever says the words, "I have a charity idea, I'm going to go talk to Crymson," people dive in front of me like they're taking a bullet. They're like, "Don't you fucking dare!" I did 4 charity things in January, like 2 years ago.
Oh my God.
I was exhausted, but
Yeah.
I couldn't stop saying no. I couldn't say no because like the last one, I had found out that somebody in the streaming community lost his fight with depression and left his wife and kid, which was just a shame because the person that we knew was a really happy, person. So that just goes to show you don't know so well.
Oh yeah.
And when you're streaming, like, I don't know these people in real life. I have no way of like checking up on them. So I was asked like if we would raise money for his wife and his kid, and I was like 100%. I was like, I am there. And he wasn't even a member of my community. It was another streamer. It was a partnered streamer on Mixer who I was a mod for, and Nick Haddock is his gamer tag, the gentleman we raised money for, and like I remembered him very well because he always had he taught me how to make fun of Far From Idle, the partnered streamer. So like the mod, we just ganged up on him. So they're like, I even asked anybody. I was like, I'm doing this. I'm gonna do it. I'm going to sacrifice 2 days and 8 to 16 hours just streaming. So like I'll play with other people, I'll stream on my own, but it's the like I also get I could be doing something right now.
Oh, the curse of toxic productivity, honestly.
Yeah. I'll do that. You know what? This person needs my help. I'm going to help them. And that's gotten toxic to the point where I offer people help before they even ask me. And I'm like, I keep telling myself, like, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
And you can say no. But yeah, it's also the toxic productivity. It's the, like, laying in bed, like, I could be doing something right now. I could be checking our emails. I could be writing something. The website needs work. Social media, like anything. But I'm laying in bed.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's also like, I actively have to struggle with this. So honestly, don't take it just from me on that. But I have to remind myself that I'm not just laying in bed. I'm doing what my body needs right now, and I'm doing what my brain needs, even if I'm feeling in that ingrained place that says you have to be doing something all of the time. And we can blame capitalism. We could just outright be like, fuck you, capitalism. Eat shit, Henry Ford. This is all your fault.
Exactly.
But you are doing something in that time. It's just not what you feel like you have to be doing, even though that is exactly what you need.
Yeah. Like, sometimes you have to lay in bed and watch Avatar The Last Airbender for 2 days straight.
That sometimes you have to.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to get stuck in a hole of watching Homestead Rescue, and then you're pretty sure that you need to abandon modern life to open up a homestead of your own somewhere and then go from there. But you don't have to.
You don't have to, no.
You don't have to do that.
I also find forcing a good cry is good. Like, all right, this looks like a depressing movie. Let's just do this. Let's do the thing.
Yeah, I've been feeling emotionally constipated. Hurt me, Mike Flanagan. Let's do this.
Yes, Mike. But have me up at 1:30 in the morning again, sobbing with Thea the Bard as I try to watch the last episode through just a waterfall of tears. Thank you so much. But yeah, I think you're right. We have this I should be doing something. We don't pride ourselves as something to take care of. Like, that's not a job. That's it's we consider that a luxury, not a necessity. We'd rather take care of other people, help other people, rather than help ourselves, because that's selfish. A lot of us were raised to believe, oh, that's selfish. Don't be selfish. You want to help other people. And you have to. You have to be selfish. Even as a mom, I have to be selfish sometimes and be like,
yeah.
You know, I'm going to lay in bed today. You want to cuddle with me? That's fine. If you don't, leave my presence.
Yeah. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to be selfish in that capacity, where it's not all about me in a give me everything and I will give you nothing sort of capacity. It's more like, I need to give this to myself for a bit. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. It's okay to need that sort of time in that space, that you just do it for yourself.
Yes.
Because otherwise we give too many pieces of ourselves out, and we're happy to do it until we're not happy to do it anymore. And it's reaching that brink that is the issue.
Have you ever reached the point where you have said yes to something and then, like, had to cry about it later, but did it anyway?
Oh God, absolutely. Yeah, I've definitely done it.
That's like, I agree.
Or like immediately questioned why I said yes to that. Yeah, like, why did you just do that?
Why did you offer to help?
Oh, why though?
Like, we already have. I was very proud of myself. April. It was in April. We were doing Together Con last week in April. My mother was having eye surgery for cataracts. My husband was going on vacation. And then a friend messaged me and said, hey, can you feed my cats while I'm gone? I was like, yeah, sure. And then, like, the week beforehand, I sat there and I looked at it and I sent her a message and I was like, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I have the fullest week possible. And, like, with my husband not being here, it's like cutting off one of my hands.
Yeah.
So it's not like I could just, like, oh, go play with daddy or something like that. That's not how it works. Or I could, like, she could be downstairs with no problem because my husband's down there. So I was really proud that I sent her a message and I was like, I'm so sorry, I can't. And unsurprisingly, she wasn't upset about it.
Yeah, we always have that fear in our heads that we're going to let somebody down, but, like, you're only human. And if somebody's going to get that upset if you can't do something, I mean, deal with it later, but, like, you only have so much of yourself that you can give to everything all at once. So yeah, if somebody's not understanding of that, now if you're flaking on everything, kind of a problem, but
I can't marry
that's like
you.
The opposite
My wedding's
issue.
in 30 minutes. That's not how that works. Like, don't blow that off, but yeah. take a realistic expectation. It's a realistic look at your time, and then question where is the me time. And it doesn't have to be like, me time could be like playing Phasma with your friends. It can be watching Avatar. It could be knitting. It could be plant shopping. Like, whatever it is, whatever makes you happy, just go do that thing. Follow
Even for a little bit. Yes, chase it, because God only knows where it goes.
That's when you end up on a mountain in Montana with a cattle rancher. How'd you get here? I chased the dopamine. I don't know anything about why I'm here, but here I am. That's my fear with having ADHD and chasing dopamine.
That you're going to chase it to a cattle ranch in Montana?
Yeah, that like I'm going to end up somewhere and be like, and the dopamine's like, all right, we're done here. And then I'm like,
okay, bye. Where am I? How did I get here?
Like, suddenly sober and you're 8 states away. Like, what the fuck just happened?
Where's my car and who has gas money?
I have a mule and some jerky. Let's do this.
Hey, you have a mule and some jerky. Oh shit, that's way better than just being there in your boots.
There you go. You have clothes on. That's an improvement.
Yeah, that's
celebrating the little things.
Yes, yeah.
I have clothes. I have bras that are not broken.
Oh, mine's on the edge. I should probably take care of that.
I bought 3 of the exact same bra. Like, I bought
if you're
a bra.
Gonna love it, whatever.
It worked really well, and then I ordered like 3 more.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, because they always change it or discontinue it after that anyway, so.
Yes, and if it looks good and it feels good, just do the thing.
Retail therapy.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to do that anymore. I maxed out 2 credit cards.
Oops.
I'm trying to pay off. It buys me lovely things like this wonderful dress that I'm wearing, and the bra that I'm wearing, and probably everything else that I'm wearing. I like retail therapy way too much. My computer died and I went on, this was years ago, and I had just gotten my Torrid credit card, and I immediately, like, $200 worth of shit. It's fun times.
I'll keep up on you.
Never do it. Like, and I don't wear most of that stuff anymore.
Damn it.
I should try and figure out if I can wear them for sure. I have a TARDIS dress, and I have a Nightmare Before Christmas dress, and I have a Red Queen dress, Snow White dress. It's a black and red dress. That's why I got it. Beautiful dress.
Good enough.
What else do you do for self-care?
So you mentioned music earlier, and right before we started streaming, I was listening to the Taylor Swift Red re-release, and I was like, oh shit. You know, I think tomorrow morning I'm probably just going to get in my car, I'm going to blast that, and I'm going to belt to those tunes for an hour or two, just driving around. Because that is like ultimate quiet time. I am in my car by myself. I'm singing, which I only ever do when I'm by myself. And we're just letting it roll. We got a kiddo. And y'all on stream can't see it, but I've got a cat in my lap, and that is also helping significantly. I'm just gonna up her baby cat. My little old man.
Interruption brought to you by Lilith. My roommate must have gone to Wawa at some point and brought home 2 Mountain Dew Voltage, which is the blue one, and they are my favorite. And she ran in with one. She was like, "Can I have this?" And I was like, "Oh fuck no, no, that is."
You're gonna skyrocket to the moon in that thing.
That is 20 ounces of just pure sugar and caffeine. It's not happening.
And it's rainy. I can't shove you outside. So.
Yeah. Oh, it stopped raining.
Oh.
Yeah, it only rained when I had to leave the movie theater. Thanks.
Naturally.
But yeah, no, music is a big thing. Is a good one. I to release like tension before I'd stream, I would blast. I would turn everything on my computer up, and I'd listen to like a couple of like Panic at the Disco songs, and I would belt them out, and then like that would just like release all that like anxiety beforehand. Now I have weed, and that helps.
Well, that'll do it too.
It's a lot better. But I want to stress. I have a medical marijuana card. I live in Pennsylvania, and I do not. If I ever get high, it's accidental. My goal is to maintain a calm, not to get high.
I live in Illinois where it's legal, and I usually only use it to go to bed, or if I'm like trying to avoid a hangover or a headache or a hangover, which hasn't happened in a very long time. But I have occasionally gotten entirely too high, so whoops.
Yeah,
but I am of age in a state where that's legal, so whatever.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with getting high. 100%.
The most menace that I'm going to be when I'm high is to some like cookies or something. So.
I think it was Wednesday. I have a new tincture, so I have to like adjust, and I took just a little bit too much, and like halfway through the stream I was like, I'm a little high, and I've been thinking about Oreos for the past 2 hours, so I'll be right back.
I gotta go.
And I went down and I got a bowl full of Oreos and a glass of milk, and I demolished the Oreos, which is impressive, because I'm like, usually like, okay, I'll grab like a handful of Oreos, but when you are stoned,
oh yeah, that you have no concept of when that stops.
No, your stomach no longer has like a stopping point. It can't feel anything anymore. So
bottomless pit.
It's just like, just eat all the things. Like, all right, like Oreos, like Cheese Whiz, like it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, fuck it. That's also, food is a big comfort thing for me, and especially if I'm like baking bread, because that takes a little bit more effort because you got to knead it and let it rise and all that. But I still try, especially when I'm feeling really depleted, I try to have something that's a little bit healthy, but then also here's a little bit of comfort food. Yes, I'm going to have this pizza, but I'm also going to have a smoothie that has actual fruits and vegetables and stuff in it.
There you
go. It's not just garbo.
Yes. There's nothing, have your comfort food, but also try and like get some other stuff in there. Like, one of my comforts is we have a wonderful place called Wawa. The Wawa is it's a convenience store, but it grew, and now it kind of has like a deli in all of them. And they have this thing called the Turkey Bowl, the Gobbler. And this comes out like October, November, and December every year. And it's like a base bowl of like half mashed potatoes, half stuffing. They plop turkey and gravy on top of it. And if you ask, they'll just dump cranberry sauce on top. And I'm like,
yes, I will. Yes, thank you.
Just jump it right into my mouth.
Right down the old guzzler.
Yeah. And
all right, come on. Decide what you're doing. Sorry, I have another cat who's like trying to sit up here with me. Yeah, chat, if you've got any questions, do pop them in. I'll be happy to answer. Oh, I'm gonna have to move this cat. He's about to cause a whole bunch of havoc.
Okay, my daughter ran in, said she needed a towel. I asked her what's wrong. She said nothing, and she took the towel and ran. So I'm concerned, but I'm gonna let it go.
It's not a problem till it's a problem, you know?
Exactly. We'll worry about that later.
Okay, now one of my cats has their tail flicking in my face, and I don't want your butt in my face, my guy.
What are you doing, Lily? Check over there. in the pile. Why do you need a towel? You made a mess? In the bathroom? Okay. 1 second.
Whoa. Yeah. Yeah. Cash is very expressive with his tail, and when he's annoyed, he lets you know it. And they're also terribly invasive. Pets, another good self-care thing. Uh, we just form the cuddle puddle, and away we go. Just hang out. Friendly reminder, if you haven't taken your meds today, and you need to take your meds today, you should probably do that. You should do that, right? Meow. Or at the appropriate time. Just don't forget. Don't forget your drugs, you know? How's chat doing today? What are y'all up to?
Okay. All the things are happening. She spilt some tea. That is all. Yes, I love food. Way too much.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Just try and celebrate if you do something, even a little something. We're proud of you. Good job.
Exactly.
You killed it.
You came on here and you told us, good job. This is the first step to talking
It
about
doesn't sound like that takes a lot of effort, but when you have no energy, that's a lot. That's a big thing.
It's so much. So much. Especially, like, depression and anxiety. Anything. It just saps every ounce of you. It is the true time killer.
It really is.
So yes, food is a. I also get depression dessert. So
Okay, what is that?
I will send a message to Andy, my roommate and best friend, and be like, "Hey, can I get some depression dessert this weekend?" And he goes to Wegmans and he finds some like tasty, slightly expensive pre-made dessert and buys it for me. And sometimes it's like chocolate mousse. It's usually always chocolate related, but chocolate mousse or chocolate cake or chocolate something. And I do not share it. If I'm in a slightly good mood, I will let somebody have a bite. But I will just. I have laid there at 2:00 in the morning crying, eating my depression dessert.
Boy, who has not been there?
Like, this is what's going to get me through it. Oh, poor pathetic Harley. Your life is so hard.
I ate cheese vitamins earlier. Mom, come on.
She got her antibiotic wrapped in a piece of cheese because I'm out of pill pockets, and she didn't even taste it. So I was like,
"Oh,
pill pockets is a waste of money. Just cheese." Jesus. I've been eating dark chocolate peanut butter cups from Trader Joe's because Pastia thought of Tadavia. That is wonderful. Congratulations, Pastia.
Yeah, usually past me is a dick, so Pastia was really thinking of you.
Yeah, past me is never thinking of current me.
No. And when that thought crosses my mind where I'm like, ooh, future me's gonna be pissed about this. And I don't stop that anyway. I just let it happen. It's just like, well, why are you the way that you are?
That's future you problem.
Yeah, and then future me's like, well, why?
Why am I such a dick? Yeah. I've done that quite a bit. I'm like, God damn it, past Crymson. I've done that because, especially when it comes to, and I don't know if I told you this. Everybody knows I have PTSD. So I also was a bit of a pack rat. I still am. I'm working on it. And so my therapist gave me permission to throw things out. I was in the like, this needs to be donated or recycled or something, and I would just have boxes. It was just an excuse. Like,
Hmm.
yes, I want to be great for the planet. However, so she was like, just throw it the fuck out. I was like, all right. So, for some reason, past Crymson bought every shiny little glass bead, like in the bags that you get at like the craft store. You know, like glass beads in different colors. I like, oh my god, I bought so many, and I sat there on the floor, like going through these, going, why past
Yeah,
Crymson?
what?
Why did we? What was the reason behind this? Why?
Were we gonna make something with this?
Like
Which
I.
is probably why I have most of the things that I have is because I was gonna do something with it, and I either did the thing and had leftover, or I got to doing the thing and I was like, yeah, I don't care about this anymore,
Yeah.
and stopped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some of it was some of it was I think projects I was gonna do. Some of it was probably like, the crow that I am. Ooh, shiny. We must put it in our nest. Um, and I know, like, I did get some glass. I used to play Magic the Gathering, so I would get them as like health tokens and stuff like
Hmm.
that, or counters or whatever. But like, I think I have like 10 bags of, and I'm like, at some point, somebody should, like, it's not like they're dice. Somebody should have looked at me and said, "You should probably stop," and nobody did. So now there are beads all over my house because I haven't thrown them out yet.
You'll get to it. Or you could,
Eventually.
like, I kind of suffer from the same thing where I'm like, I'm not using this, but nothing's wrong with it. I could just donate it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go to the point where I find a place to donate it. And most of the time I do go take that stuff there. But other times it's like, just just get rid of it. For the love of God. This has been sitting here for 3 years because
Yeah,
you haven't donated it yet. Just
just throw
rip
it
the
out.
band-aid off. Either you're taking it now or you're tossing it.
Yeah. My problem also is like, I might need this, so I'm gonna save it. And then there have been the couple of times like, ooh, this is a great idea. I should do this. Oh, that would have been great, but I just threw that thing out.
Yeah, yeah.
So my brain's like, we must never throw anything out. We will need it. We promise. It's not how
Even
that
though
works.
the times that you actually did do that, where you're like, oh, I'm glad I still have this, are so outnumbered by the times that you've never used it.
Like 1 in 1,000, maybe.
Yeah, and we're using that little bit to justify
Justify why we have to keep
keeping
it.
going on what's arguably destructive behavior. And I think that's also part of the burnout thing. Is like, I said no one time, I can't say no again to this. And it's like, no, that's not the case.
Yeah.
You can keep doing it. It doesn't matter if it just doesn't matter. You're all right to stop a behavior that's not great for you. And you need to stop using the little things to justify doing those detrimental actions,
Yeah.
those spreading yourself too thin, which I'm like preaching at myself right now. But
At least we know what the problem is. We're aware. We just have to get there.
yeah, ever the struggle.
Like we started the first step. We'll work on the rest of it. It'll be fine. But yeah, it's buying stuff that you don't need, that you're just gonna throw out later, and spreading yourself too thin. Burnout is so, I don't even have words for burnout. It literally is its own feeling.
Hmm.
Like, it just kind of feels like I just died. Like, I have nothing left. And I can't force myself to do anything.
Yeah,
That's it.
no matter how much you want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like I rain checked someone that I'm very interested in hanging out with, and I was like, I'm dying to, but I can't right now because if I do this today, then I can't do whatever I have planned for tomorrow because I can feel in like this the best way to describe it for me is like a cat that is pissed off and hissing at you and is like trying to scare you off.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that in the center of my chest where I'm like, everybody needs to just get away from me and I need to just be for a bit. And I can either do the thing that's going to quell that a bit now so that I can keep going,
Yeah.
or I push it too far and then I just become this little raging irritability monster.
Yeah. Even like you're right, 100%. It's the like, okay, you can't take a day, take an hour, take
Yeah.
like just find time somewhere, because I will push myself and then just be done, and then I can't do anything, and then it's like when you run out of gas on the highway. Well, if I had just stopped and gotten gas, it'd be fine, but now I have to walk however
Yeah.
long to get more gas, so that I'm out of commission for even longer. Um, I've been Oh Snap It's Lee. She's a member of Real Women Gaming. Has been doing this stream during the week. She does she calls it Pomo. It's got a longer name, and it's a form of production, like productivity, where like you work for 45 minutes, like you try to stay as focused as possible, and then like you take like a 15-minute break, and then you do like an hour and get a 10-minute break. Like you break it up like that. You do whatever you want, excuse me, in those 10-15 minutes. And some days that has really helped me be productive. Some days, however, I'm like, that's great, but I'm gonna play House Flipper.
Yeah, if I get derailed on this thing, it's not going to get done.
Yeah.
And once I settle into doing something, I'm going to do it until it's finished or until I hit a point where I'm like, I need to step away. Um, and that's like if I'm in the middle of a creative project, especially, or a puzzle, something that's really taking my brain space, my entire body function, like it's still going, but it's like it's gone onto background mode. And I forget to eat, I forget to drink, I forget to go use the bathroom until I like look up 3 hours later and I'm like, oh shit.
Yep.
I need to go drink some water, maybe.
Yeah. That hyperfocus.
Yeah.
One of the beautiful gifts of ADHD. I can hyperfocus into a lot of different things, and I have looked up and been like, oh, the sun is coming up. I am still awake. I should not be awake. I have a life.
I
that
should sleep.
Yeah, I should be sleeping. Which is why I take so much medication to make sure that I go to sleep. Because if I don't take the medicine, I will stay up all night. I will stay up until I literally just pass out. Until I cannot keep my eyes open anymore. Just pass out. But that could be like 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. So that's bad times. But the World of Warcraft raids weren't going to do themselves. So I had to...
No, they'll be okay. They'll be okay.
It's like, we could do this another time, or we could do it now. Now is fine. Now is never fine.
Well, it's hard to say no when you're already doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's always just one more, one more, one more. But again, that just circles back to our central thesis of like it's okay to say no, and it's okay
Say no to
to be like,
yourself.
yeah, I got it. Yeah, exactly. And that's like you're your own worst enemy most of the time. So it's important to like remember to take your meds. It's important to get away from whatever it is that you're doing if it's taking you too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's okay. Say no.
Yeah.
It's all right.
It's even saying no to yourself. Like try if when you start trying to rationalize doing something, just say no.
Yeah.
No.
Don't talk yourself into it. Just be done.
Just say no. Sometimes I will do the thing and I will like tell other people that like I've given Thea permission before. I'm like, if I seem like I'm spacing out or something, just just tell me, say something. And sometimes she's just like, maybe we should just not do the thing. What do you think about that? And I'm like, do the thing. So yeah, I will rationalize myself into like making a safety net Like, oh, if I get too worn out, just call it. If I'm setting that safety, I'm already too
You
worn
already
out.
know. Yeah, you already know. You're in that place.
Yeah, I'm already burnt out for the day. Like, just don't do it. Just don't do the thing, and nobody's gonna be mad. And if they're mad, fuck them. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It does not matter at all, because it's about you and what you need.
Yeah. And there have been plenty of times where I was set to record the podcast with the Lovelies, and at least one of us has been like, I can't fucking do this today. Can we just like get together and play a game or something that's not recorded, that isn't me having to pretend to be someone else and to shelve my own feelings while I'm feeling the character's feelings? Like, I need to not do that.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's been really nice to just be able to be like, I can't fucking do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah. When we don't do Malhaven, we cancel it. I'm like, let's just watch a movie and like play some video games. That's what we'll do. I mean, I have multiple screens, so I can do both. But most of them are like, all right, well, I'm going to watch the movie because I have one screen. And I'm like, that's fine. I'm just going to curse while we're watching this movie.
It's unrelated.
Completely unrelated. But that helps sometimes so much to just, like be mundane, I guess. I was going to say be normal, but I hate normal. Like, just be a human being. Nothing special. No shows, no streams.
Just exist for a bit.
Literally just existing. And realizing, like, I don't owe anybody anything in this moment. Like, I don't owe... The most I will owe is if there is a movie going on, I will try to be a little bit quiet if I'm doing something else, but I have run out of buildings going, you need to run. And they're like, why are you whispering? I'm like, because they're watching a movie and we're in Discord. Run. And then, like, zombie bears chase us. And they're like, oh, shit. Well, I told you. Oh,
yeah. I did mention the bear.
Whisper that we need to run. I also think a lot of, like, as I have gotten older, a lot of what's saving me in burnout and my self-care is the fact that I don't owe anybody anything.
Yeah, you give a lot fewer fucks about that the older that you get.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't... I couldn't tell you why it happens or when it happens, but you just hit a point where you're like, I just don't care as much anymore.
It's because your bag of fucks is depleted.
I gave you all of them in my 20s, and now I'm done. So.
Yes. There's in Don't Starve Together, every time you die, you come back with like your health bar is a little bit shorter and a little bit shorter. And I feel like that's how that's your fucks bar as you get older. You just every time, like every year, like when you refill, it's just like, feels a little lighter this year. And then like now I'm in my 40s and I maybe have like 5.
Yeah, tops.
5 tops, and they live with me. Like
that's
it.
That's it.
And I don't like I've also dropped the like, okay, like I don't have a lot of fucks. Not everybody's gonna like me, and that's fine. I can't make everybody happy, and that's not my job. Like,
no, not your problem.
Yeah, exactly. That is not like. I was talking to a friend recently, and she was saying that she doesn't talk about her mental health with her friends because they're not very equipped to handle it. And I'm like, I get that. And she was like, and I don't think they want to hear about it. And I'm like, that's a them problem.
Yeah. When it's not your... The thing, and I got this from several TikToks, where it's not necessarily that you're burdening your friends with your problem. It's more that you're bringing it to the table as like a puzzle for you guys to figure out together. So you're not just taking it on by yourself. So that it isn't that you're handing them this issue and being like, you solve it. It's more like you're bringing it over and you're like, I need help with this. Mm-hmm. You give whatever help you can, but like, I just need you to be aware that this is a thing that I have in my hands right now.
Yeah. And that prevents even just bringing that awareness can help you in the long run. Like, hey, by the way, I'm really depressed right now. And then that gives you the cue of like, oh, maybe I should check in on them.
Yeah.
Like Crymson said she's depressed. I'm gonna check in on her. And just to like be, like, don't fix it. Just kind of like
Yeah.
be there, be
That's not what I'm
present.
asking for. Yeah. Well, and depression is kind of one of those sneaky things too, where it's in and it's already in effect before you really have a chance to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
And I find, especially as myself, that depression is my big mental health demon. It likes to hide, and it likes to hide from other people because you don't want to be that burden. But
Mm-hmm.
that's honestly making it way worse because you're allowing it that darkness that it thrives in to just spin out and spin out and spin out.
Mm-hmm.
And just showing it off and telling people, like, hey, I'm going through it. It gives it less of that space to grow because people see that and people can check in. And I don't want to use the word accountability because it sounds way more forceful and like punishing
Yeah.
than what it is, but it does give you a little bit more control over it if you're letting people know I'm
Yeah.
struggling with this,
Isolation
but I'm
is what
not giving
once.
it the space to take the reins and just run.
Exactly. Because it's hard. And I my goal next year is going to be the I am not a burden to anybody. I'm gonna work on that next year, which is gonna be fucking hard. And it's gonna be like the because so to counteract the I'm a burden, um, I have been telling myself like for instance, hypothetically, it'd be like, okay, you can ask Cassie if she wants to play Phasmo tonight because she is a grown ass adult that can make that decision. Because if I don't ask you, I'm making that decision for you.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's how I kind of try to like picture it in my mind. It's not my right to make that decision for you. So now if it turns into things like, hey, I need something done, here's a list of people I could ask, and I already know the top 3 people on that list have a lot on their plate. Excuse me. So I'm gonna skip to like the 4th person
Mm-hmm.
and go from there, because like there's always a respect thing. But when you just don't do anything about it, like again, it's making that choice for people. That's something that Kink Nightmare has actually helped me with. That's making that choice for people, and that's just rude.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that has been a big help, because it's not just like it's like, oh, like I'm not gonna ask them to do it, I'll just do it myself, or like they're gonna be too busy, and then like you find out a week later they were doing nothing on that day,
Yeah.
and it would have been great if you would just like, hey, you want to play this game? So yeah, it's instead of I am a burden or they're busy, I just keep like, well, it's not my right to make that decision for them. So I will ask, and they can be a grown ass. Like my friend paid me for feeding her cats while she was gone. I was like, you didn't have to do that. And she was like, I don't want to take advantage of you. And I was like, you know what? You are a grown ass adult, and you can thank me
Yeah.
however you want.
Yeah, there we go. It's offering agency
Mm-hmm.
that you were unknowingly taking away, even if that wasn't an intentional thing.
Yeah.
It's just like inviting your friends to exist with their lives in conjunction with your own.
Mm-hmm. It's oh god, it's so like it's hard, and I don't think it's just a mental illness thing. I think it's a conditioning thing as well. That like we grew up with the don't like don't be conceited turned into like, well, I can't say too many good things about myself. Like a lot of that stuff got twisted. So it's the
Mm-hmm.
like at some point growing up there was like, and of course I had trauma, like don't we all? Uh, so there was a point in which I like considered myself a burden. So like that's what I'm like going into it like as an adult. But I'm 40 now, so I need to get over.
Well, and we have these like really conflicting messages, and society as a whole is not great about this, where
Oh
it's
god,
like
no.
be humble, but have self-confidence. And I'm like, but if I do one of these,
Mm-hmm.
I by definition have to be not doing the other.
Just like a woman,
So,
we're either a prude or a slut. There's no in between.
yeah,
No in
like
between.
if a man tells you that you're pretty, That's wonderful. The second that you think you're pretty, I can't capitalize off that anymore, so I need you to stop.
Yep.
So, and I will get a big ego if I'm really not careful, and that's something that I try to be very mindful of. Like, if too many people tell me I'm a rock star and I have too much power, I'm going to abuse the shit out of it. So I have to really check myself
Yeah.
and be careful about that so that I don't wind up making an asshole of myself.
Yeah. There really needs to be a healthy balance of ego and being humble, because you have to have some ego.
Yeah.
You have to
Oh
be able to
yeah.
be like, I'm the shit, especially on days when you don't feel it. You need to be like, you know what,
Yeah.
fuck it, I'm the shit. But at the same time, like, if like, somebody called me a celebrity once, and I was like, well, there's no living with me now. Everybody's screwed.
You've made me insufferable. Congratulations.
And I'm like, if like, I would never want to be famous, because I feel like that shit would get to my head.
hmm
And
Oh, I know it would for me. So it's like I really have to. So gratitude is a big thing, and I think that's part of why I work so hard to like help out where I can too, and to do the charity stuff, because it's like great, you have this even minute, very small bit of influence, but what the hell are you doing with it? Are you doing something useful? Are you doing something that gives back in a meaningful way so that I'm not just this raging ego monster,
mm-hmm.
and that I can be proud that I'm actually doing something helpful with any even small bit of talent or influence that I have.
Well, you are an amazing person. That is why you are my friend. And I will also knock you off your high horse, so it's fine.
Oh yeah, please do. If I'm getting too big for my britches, be like, Cassie, we can see your ass, get a belt. And I'll be like, okay.
Yeah, I think those are the kind of people we really need to surround ourselves with. The people who will lift you up, but also knock you the fuck
Yeah. They're like, okay, you need to have some cement shoes for a while because
down.
you're getting up there a little bit.
You're amazing, but you need to stop.
Yeah. Slow down.
Yes, and for anybody who's ever afraid that they're going to, like, as long as you do it in a loving manner, I would say, uh, never be afraid to knock your friends down. I had my butt kicked the weekend before Halloween, because I was like, oh god, I'm not going to be able to part of something, so I need to cancel it because I'm not going to be there. To which one person responded to me like, we're fine without you. Life can continue. This is what you told me we were going to do. And I was like, oh shit, you're right.
Oh. Well, and it's like it's the moments that keep you from being Icarus and just flying directly into the sun. And if what you need is for someone to take that giant fly swatter and give you a little bap to remind you and to keep you from going too high,
Yep.
then that's what you
Knock
need.
knock your bitch ass down and be like, haha, your wings didn't melt this time, but they will
You're
next time.
welcome.
Yeah. I saved you from death. Oh, it's hard. It's hard. And I, there are a lot of factors. I mean, to so many things, but yeah, I'm going to 100% blame society for most of it.
Oh yeah.
Media and capitalism and
Oh, and media and especially marketing is just so insidious. So eh,
I hate it.
its whole goal is to tell you that you suck because you lack the thing that they're trying to sell you.
Mm,
And the thing that they're trying to sell you, ironically, is something that is within you entirely.
yes.
Usually it's self-confidence or self-worth. And no amount of makeup is going to do that. Now, I love makeup and it's fun to play with and it's fun to wear. And I have too much of it because I really genuinely love it. But it needs to be something that you love because you love it and not because society has crawled into your brain and been like, you need this to be worthy of anything.
Pretty is the price that you pay to live in this world. I like that I can shapeshift with my makeup. It is my Sailor Moon transformation, my magical girl
Yeah.
transformation. I
That's
made
what everybody wants.
I made that joke last week. I was like, every time that I stream, it's like whoever's I'm streaming with gets to see that magical girl transformation before the stream, where I'm like, I have my hair up, like snots hanging on my, I still have like crusties in my eyes, and like, and then like, 30 minutes later, stream starts, and here we are, glamorous, and I have highlighted and I brushed my hair, and there's mascara involved, and like all of that stuff. Um, Here's the funny thing. I don't, when I go on dates with my husband, I don't wear makeup. I literally only wear makeup for streaming purposes, and like if I'm going to a wedding or something, maybe.
Yeah, if there's an event.
An event, maybe. But
Yeah.
other than that, like I don't wear makeup. It's not
I
gonna.
did last night. I'm not right now because, like we started off, I am in self-care mode, so we are
Mhm.
not. I have not showered yet.
That is fun.
That's
I,
coming. It's happening. It's just, you get me in my grubby state.
which honestly we need to see more of from
Agreed.
people. We need to see like especially women. Like we don't have to be dressed up to do things. Like it's nice for us to do it, and I do it for me. The clothes
Yeah.
that I wear, the makeup I wear, 100% is for me, nobody else. Um, and it also helps me put like that mask on before I do a stream. Like, helps me
Well, that'll get
prepare.
you in your right mindset for it. Your
Um,
stage makeup.
yes, but we need to see like the. I started Real Women of Gaming because of all like the like when I started it in 2013. Like every like if you were to talk about a gamer girl, like it was like some like half naked woman like in a chair like holding a PlayStation controller in front of an Xbox. Like those were the images that were flying around, and perfectly make-upped and super skinny and all of that stuff. And I was like, where is the woman, where is the female presenting person who's been up for almost 24 hours and is
Yeah.
screaming into a raid and is in its bags under their eyes, hoodie over their head, hair is not brushed, and we're not going to talk about the last time we had a shower or remember to put deodorant on. Like,
Yeah. Where's this person that's
where is?
more accurate to who I am on like a regular basis,
Oh yeah,
as
exactly.
opposed to like the couple of hours that I'm on camera for
Mm-hmm.
something?
Like 4 hours on stream playing a video game, fine, but like off stream, like there's, well, I burp on stream, so, but like it's like it's the same as everything else. It's the same like hair in a messy ponytail, all sweats and no, well, not for me. I prefer tank tops, but like grubby, dressed down, doesn't matter. I'm just having
Yeah.
fun.
I'm just here. I don't have to exist as part of a performance.
Yeah. I have even like when we play games, just hanging out. I will even, uh, I will even, not have a bra on, and I will turn my camera on so my friends can see me, and that took a long time to
Yeah.
do. That's hard. That is, having a no bra day and letting people see me have a no bra day is a hard thing to do, but I do it because it needs to be done.
Oh, yeah, and that's another society capitalism thing. You need to be modest, but I want to see all your bits. Can you do both
Can you not?
without me calling you a whore?
Yeah.
No?
You show
Cool.
me all of your skin and none of it at the same time. What?
Are those male presenting nipples or female presenting nipples? Tumblr will let you know.
Oh my god. I love it when people Photoshop male nipples on the female bodies.
God, it's so stupid.
And then the picture never gets reported. And I'm
It's
like,
nothing changed.
there's no difference. Where is the difference?
Here's a vestigial nipple, and here's one that could conceivably be used as it's supposed to be used, like for rearing children.
I
Yeah, I don't know. Internet's crazy. Don't let people on the internet tell you shit because they don't know, including
whatever.
us. We don't know.
Yeah, whatever it is on the internet, it's a lie, including this. Everything's a lie.
Everything's a lie. It's all a
Everything's a lie.
simulation.
Yes. I 100% have no idea what's happening most of the time.
It's
We're
okay. We're
just,
just winging it.
yeah, we're just here to tell everybody that you're not crazy. Most of us are like this. It's just a
Oh
whole point.
yeah.
The whole point of this show has always been that, oh no, that's not a you thing. That's a many people thing.
Yeah, yeah. You are not an island unto yourself, or at least you're less of an island than you think that you are. And
Exactly.
that's okay. It's okay to acknowledge that you are unique, but you're not super. There's always going to be people who are into the same thing that you are, who still think the same thing that you do, and that's okay. There's there's strength in that sort of community. So it's not necessarily a loss of what it is that makes you special so much as it is a gaining of a space that understands you.
Yeah. Yeah, the dumpster fire in me recognizes the dumpster fire in you.
Yeah, we've got they're very compatible dumpster fires, so we can share sandbags to try and put this out.
Yeah, exactly. Or decorations, whatever, like
Or decorations.
whatever you're going
Celebrate
with.
your dumpster fire. Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, it's a big thing because you never realize how many other people like when I had the original concept for this, I was like, oh, I wonder, what kind of disorders like my friends have. Like, what have they been like diagnosed with? The amount of people I know who have PTSD, shocking. And then I just
Surprise.
realized, yeah, surprise. And then I just realized we're just a generation of like PTSD. Like,
Yeah. Well, and I think we're just coming into a better understanding of what trauma is because PTSD as a diagnosis wasn't even a thing until fairly recently in history. It was considered shell shock
mm-hmm.
previously from World War One and onwards, and then especially after Vietnam, that's when it really became a topic of parlance. But nowadays, we're realizing that uh, it's a lot more nuanced. There's a lot of things that can traumatize you, and I have CPTSD after a really abusive relationship that was awful. I'm doing better now, but for a couple years there, like I didn't really know why I was reacting the way that I was or having panic attacks to certain triggers. And then I was like, oh, you're fucking traumatized.
Yeah.
Of course you are.
Yep.
And it doesn't even have to be a deep relationship. Honestly, 2021 has been one of the hardest years of my life so far. I'm doing better now, but this has been a really rough time. And in June of this year, I lost my job unexpectedly because my company had been acquired and they were just like, yeah, let go of X amount of people. And then I found a new job and things were going great. And then they announced that we had been acquired. And I didn't have a contract in my hand or anything. And I was immediately like, oh, fuck. I was traumatized.
I remember those
And
2
I
days.
spent 2 days where I was like, this is the fucking worst. I'm losing my mind because I'm terrified. And I can't get my rational brain to wrap around this until I have some sort of reassurance that I have a job.
Yeah.
So trauma can happen in a lot of different forms. It's not just abuse. And it may hit you and you're just like, oh, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, this is a thing for me now. Great. I love that.
And complex PTSD still isn't even recognized by the mental health journal.
Yeah.
PTSD was just recently put in there. Complex PTSD is not mentioned yet. And actually, I don't know if you knew this, there is a third form of PTSD. And I don't remember exactly the name for it, but it's and it's common for therapists. It's vicarious PTSD, where you get PTSD through other people's stories.
Yeah.
I have a bit of that because my father was in Vietnam. He would get drunk and tell me stories. Oh, excuse me. So we don't watch war movies ever. But yeah, trauma and triggers pop up. Like, I just recently realized that bunk beds is a trigger for me.
There you go.
Yeah. Yay, trauma. Like, it's weird things. And I saw something on Facebook, and they were talking about, before a TTRPG game, like, what were your triggers? And this one gentleman said, like, applesauce, soup, and, like, Sprite, or something like that. And he got like torn apart for making fun of people's triggers. And he's like, well, I shouldn't have to explain this to you, but I was
Yeah.
extremely sick. And I was in the hospital for 2 or 3 months. And I was so sick that I can only eat clear, soft foods. So 3 times a day for 2 to 3 months, he had like Sprite, applesauce, and soup. Whatever the combination of the three things was. And to the point where like he can't eat them anymore. And I understand why.
Yeah. You can't control that. That's your brain going, "Oh fuck, this is taking me back to a place where I was really helpless and really it was really shit."
Yeah.
And you can't control that.
Okay.
And sometimes it does hit you. Like I didn't know that uh a relapse is a big trigger for me, and that's like the key trigger for me is somebody relapsing after off their addiction. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know that until I was watching Lock and Key, and the mother character had a relapse that was super similar to what my ex would do. And I was like, oh, okay, we're gonna need 2 days because my brain is gonna absolutely lose it. Whoa.
What is happening? Okay. Um. All right. Yeah. So triggers are weird. Are really weird things, and you have no idea what's gonna happen. Like when we were first exploring my PTSD, um, uh, I had triggers when I was playing Layers of Fear, which is an amazing game, but it's about a husband and a wife, and the husband starts drinking and having delusions, and he's abusive to his family and stuff like that. And like I was outside of like me streaming the game, I was a bitch. I was just mean to everybody, and I didn't make the connection
Yeah.
at all. So I was like, the fuck? So you never know, and that's
Yeah.
fine. You're still gonna be like, um, you're gonna be figuring out triggers for the rest of your life.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Your brain just stores things in interesting ways that
Mm-hmm.
it makes perfect sense in hindsight afterwards. You're like, okay, so obviously I associate this with this.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. But until that thing happens, you have no way of knowing if this is going to be the thing that sets your brain off.
Yup. And like, it's gonna be. It could be weird. It could be like awkward. It could make no sense, but that's fine. Your brain associates this with that. That thing is bad. So just let people around you know and avoid it.
Yeah. Or find a way to reconceptualize it, but do so with professional help,
Yeah.
with somebody who knows how to be that parachute for you.
I do that with names. I have a thing with names. Like if I've had a traumatic or toxic relationship with somebody, I will, like, their name will like stick with me.
Hmm.
And so if I hear that name on TV, like the image of that person will flash in my face. So like I'll find, like, if it was like if I had an issue with the name like Tom, I would binge watch a bunch of Tom Hanks movies. Like do something like reassociate the name.
Yeah, try to remap it.
So it's just like your computer keyboard. It just takes some programming.
Yeah. I hope you hit the right key. My cat just bit me. Apparently, I'm making too much noise.
Oh no. Is it Yeti that bit you?
No, this is Cash now, my little white
Cash.
cat.
Oh.
He's my Aries baby.
He is your bitey baby.
Yep.
Um, yeah, self care, like mental health is fucking. Uh, hey, Betty, it's all right.
Yeah, you're all good.
The brain is a complex chunk of fat and salt water, so nothing is going
Yeah.
to make sense.
It's really so it's a powerhouse of a thing. It can do some really amazing stuff. Denial is unfortunately one of those amazing things, but it's also really fragile. You have to take really careful care of yourself
So
because you could
much.
break it and then you're stuck trying to piece that back together.
Yep.
And other people can break it if you're not careful. So
Yep.
you just have to be extra mindful with yourself, which feels weird because you're like trying to make your brain a third party in this equation, even though your brain is the one who's like saying these things to
Mm-hmm.
itself. But
That's why the brain is so weird.
it's yeah, it's weird.
Like it's really, really weird. It's
A
this thing.
strange space.
Yeah, it's this thing that just doesn't make sense, and you don't think about it too much, and it'll be fine. Everything will be fine. But okay, so just I just realized, just to clarify, on PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder, and complex post traumatic stress disorder, are two different things. They complex post traumatic stress disorder, or CPTSD, is something that you get from prolonged traumatic incidents or prolonged abuse.
Hmm.
So mine's from my childhood. Cassie's is from a relationship. Like it can happen. Now there are people who have PTSD, and you can do that. Can happen from a single event.
Yeah,
Um,
like an accident or combat or
yeah.
witnessing something really horrific.
Yep.
It's usually a kind of a sudden thing.
Yes. So and like and we can't tell our brains what is traumatic and what isn't. So
Hmm.
it's just how you respond to something. Um, so yeah, don't be an asshole and trigger people because it's terrible.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't
It's
be a
terrible.
dick. You'd hate
Um,
it if someone did that to you.
oh god. But I think the people who do that are people who have no idea what it's like, and I'm like,
Oh yeah,
okay.
like you've never had a nightmare that caused you to spiral out for 2 days. Like,
Or you've never had a flashback that had you like crying for over an hour and somebody trying to
yeah,
talk you down.
yeah, you didn't lock yourself in the bathroom after this. Like, have a little empathy. A little
Yes.
empathy goes a long, long way.
And you can only make fun of PTSD if you have PTSD. That's
For
a
real though.
rule.
That's law.
That is the law. I can tell you it's the gift that keeps on giving, but you cannot.
Yeah.
You
If you
can't
if
say
you
that
don't
to
know,
me.
if you don't know, you don't know.
You don't know. That's right. Um, but yeah, it's brain. It's a weird, amazing thing. Um, so it's 20 of 4. Does anybody have any questions for either of us about self care? I know we talked about introvert for like a minute, but that's just the way conversation flowed.
Yeah, it happens.
Um, and there's extrovert, introvert, and omnivert, ambivert,
I think that ambivert, I think,
ambivert.
but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, ambivert, which means you're both extrovert and introvert. I think everybody's a little bit of both. It's just a sliding
Yeah.
scale.
Oh yeah, like anything. It's a spectrum.
Like how far? Because how far down the line do you go? Because I do have moments where I'll be at a party and I'm like, and we're done.
Yeah.
Can we leave
Switches
now?
off.
Yeah.
See ya.
And I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah. Well, and that I've done that at like a New Year's party where it hit 10 o'clock and I was like, okay, I'm done now.
Mhm.
I love you guys. It has nothing to do with you. I'm just done. And have a good one.
Yeah.
Bye. Hugs, kisses.
Love you, bye. I got an emergency text. I have to go. You left your cell phone at home. All right, I just don't want to be
I
around
felt it in the ether.
you.
I was trying to save face.
Yeah, I that's one thing I'm going to work on. Also, not doing anymore. That's gonna suck.
Yeah, it's not. I have been putting effort into that too, where I'm like, just say no and just be like, if I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Be honest about it. It's a lot easier.
Yeah. Being honest, I think is hard, and it's something
Oh yeah.
I want to work on. Why aren't we going to do this? Because I just really I don't have the spoons for it.
I
I
don't
just
want
don't want
to.
to. I
Well, and
just
that's not like an insidious sort of dishonesty. That's an honesty that you're trying to like soften a bit, so it's not quite so bad
mhm.
because you don't want to hurt people with it, but like just you don't have to do it. It's okay.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do something, just say you don't want to do it or I can't do this today.
Yeah. And if
It's
you're
easier than trying to come up with an excuse.
mhm. And if you have to leave early cuz like your social battery's done, be like, "Look, I'm tired, you know, I'm just going to go home." Like
Oh yeah,
my
hit
battery's
the end of the
running.
rope.
Yeah. I hit my battery's out. I'm going to go. Because I feel like one, I respect that answer to no end. Two, I feel like especially during the pandemic, we've talked so much about mental health because everybody's mental health went in the fucking
Oh,
toilet.
and in the shitter. Yeah.
Like it, not even just like we flushed it. Like it didn't just go in the
It's
toilet.
gone.
It's gone. Mental health went right out the window. And I feel like it's more acceptable to talk about stuff like that, to say these things to people. Like, hey, my mental health isn't like I know we were gonna hang out this weekend. My mental health isn't great, so I'm just gonna stay home. And I feel like if you say something like that, that also opens up the conversation of, oh, okay, would you like me to like come over and watch movies with you? Like, do you want
Yeah.
to do an at home thing? So I feel like honesty will help us in the long run, as long as you're not a dick about it.
Yeah, yeah. Anybody who says I'm just being honest is also just being a piece of
Oh
shit.
yeah,
So,
100%. Anytime somebody says I'm just being honest, or um like I don't mean to be offensive, 100% they're trying to be they're like,
oh yeah, every time.
yeah.
Every time. Yeah, this kitty actually just farted and it smells horrific, by the way.
Like Harley's demon farts.
Yes. Whoever says the cats don't fart has no idea.
Oh god,
They
no.
have no idea.
Yeah. Harley crawls up on my shoulder and then lets out a demon fart, asshole like an inch away from my face. Thanks.
You're gonna get pink eye.
Never want to hear pink eye again. You know what? With how much she is up like on my face all the time, I'm surprised I don't have pink eye.
Right?
Um, but yeah, honesty. Honesty is a wonderful thing. Try it, and if people are like, you know what, you don't have to, you could have just lied. Then you don't have time for that.
Why do you want that? What? Why is that what you want?
You could have been nice about it. Like that's as nice as it's gonna get. Like I hate it when you're like, you know what, I just don't want to. And people are like, well, that's not very nice. Well, I'm not here to be nice.
It was as straightforward as I could be without. I'm sorry.
Or it turns around like, do you want me to be rude about it? Because I could, and I guarantee you're not gonna like that.
Yeah, nobody's gonna be happy in this situation.
Me,
We could not do
I'll
that.
be a little. I get a little happy when I'm rude, but nobody else is gonna be okay with this. But yeah, it's just like if somebody was like, you know what, I know I made plans, but I'm an introvert, and then I realized I don't want to. I'm okay with that answer. We'll have to reschedule, and eventually you're gonna have to do the thing. But I understand.
Yeah, you'll have to do the thing. Yeah.
We said
at
we'd
some
go to the
point.
movies. We're gonna go to the movies at some point. Like, I get you. Because I've also, as an extrovert, I've been there. I know I said I'd do the thing. But I don't want to. I don't want to do the thing.
Fair enough.
Call somebody. I don't want to do the thing. Can we not do the thing? And I love it when I do that to an introvert. They're like, thank God.
Oh, thank God.
Thank God.
I've been hoping that you would say that for at least 3 hours now.
I don't want to. However, if you're calling because you have to cancel appointment, lying's okay. And I mean like a doctor's appointment or something like that. Because if you have to cancel within like 24 hours, they're gonna charge you. But if you say something
Oh yeah.
like my car broke down and it has to get towed, they're not gonna charge you.
Yeah, I can't get here.
My
Boss, I have explosive diarrhea, and by that I mean I need to lie on my couch and not do anything for a while.
By the way, I thought explosive diarrhea was a South Park joke until not Harley, the puppy I had before, Bubba, had explosive diarrhea. It is not.
Oh, you learned.
Yo, I learned real quick. I was like, this isn't a joke. I mean, it was, but it was.
It was, but now it's not funny.
Yeah, now it's not funny. Like, what fresh hell is this? I didn't. Not. I frequently have rectal blindness. I can't see my ass coming in. Okay, so side note, we watched Jungle Cruise last night. And I came upstairs after the movie and I sat down and I was in Discord with Kinky and Nymph and Riley. And Nymphadora was like, "How was the movie?" I was like, "It's the worst movie I've ever seen." And then she's like, "Oh, well, it's, you know, it's based on a ride. The concept can't be that great." And I was like, no, you misunderstand. My husband loved the movie. And within 10 minutes, there was a series of puns and dad jokes that just hurt my soul. And I look over at my husband and I'm like, "You knew." And he was like, "I did not, but this movie just got so much better." So for 2 hours, I sat there and I waited for every single pun to come. And like an action scene would come up and I'm like, "Oh, yes." And then they'd make a pun and I'm like, "This is terrible.
Kill me now."
I very much channeled my inner Cassie and I was like, "I hate it here."
I hate it here.
I hate it here. So, Cassie, why don't you tell all the wonderful people what you do and where they can find you?
Sure. So I am the game monstrous for the Lovelycraftians podcast. You can find my personal account. It's lovely_GM_Cassie. And you can also find me pretty frequently on the Real Women boards. Mm-hmm. I write, I play in a couple of the games now. Mm-hmm. And most of them just hanging out. I crash Crymson streams a lot. Either because we're playing a game or because I've summoned zombie bears.
Yes.
Or void chickens.
Oh my god, there's still a road full of dead void chicken bodies that we can't drive over. Like, I forgot about them one day and I slammed right into nothing. Like I did.
Oh no.
I'll eventually get out and clean them up, but I don't feel like it most of the time.
I say I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
No, I'm not.
That's
I don't want you to be sorry either. It's hilarious afterwards. The panic at the moment is real, but afterwards it's always funny.
10 out of 10. Totally worth it.
And the clips are great. I especially love the clip of the time that you summoned something on Wicked and she just screams and yells, "Oh, you bitch." And we all knew she meant you. You're well aware. But also we're going to be streaming, we're going to be doing Phasmophobia together on Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Yay.
It's my birthday.
It's your birthday. It's your happy bursting day. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna have the thing, and you do occasionally stream on the Lovelycraftians.
Yes, and on Wednesday, every time we die in that game, I'm gonna be donating $5 to getting Wicked her new computer.
Yep.
So I do have a cap for the amount of money that I can spend for that, but I don't anticipate walking away with much monies in my pockets after that.
Yes. So if you get the chance tomorrow, come hang out with me as I raise money for St. Jude and I cook black and red things. And then come by on Wednesday. And I'm going to see if I can convince my husband to donate every time we die as well. To make it more interesting. And come celebrate and stuff like that. Stuff and things. It's so much fun.
Stuff and things.
Stuff and things. Wait, let me shout out the Lovelycraftians.
Thank you.
Yay, it worked. They are playing tabletop RPGs.
Oh yeah, that's set from last night. Still set for the category.
But thank you, Cassie, so much for coming for my first episode.
Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate it.
Of course.
I also have
Happy to.
nothing to do tonight. If at any time you have like the energy and want to do Phasmo, you can poke me.
Yeah. I do still need to do the gym thing and the shower thing.
Do
But
all of the things, and if later,
I will let you know.
if later you decide that you want to get your butt off the couch,
Hell yeah.
just send me a message.
I will let you know.
So
Goats my goats.
and then you guys can find me on at Crymson Pleasure and on Real One Gaming and on my personal channel. And here again, I will be back here not next weekend, the weekend after. Yes, because on the 27th, me and Cassie
Deadlands.
are going to be in Roll for Terror, which is our monthly horror one-shot. It's going to be Deadlands, and I'm terrified because I have listened to some of the things that James has created for people. So I'm expecting new trauma.
Yay!
Yay! But everybody, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you. You are all wonderful human beings. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Take your medication, drink your water, and I'll see you next time. Bye!